Welcome to My on Mondays, an explorative approach to the possessive my through narratives, art, and sound. Each Monday brings a new creation and unique perspective. My on Mondays is brought to you by MING Studios, a contemporary art space and international artist residency program dedicated to the exhibition, experience, and exploration of arts and culture. Along with exhibiting artists from around the world, MING also serves the community by hosting innovative programs including performances, workshops, screenings, readings, artist talks, and other cultural activities. For more information, or if you'd like to participate in My on Mondays, you can visit our website at mingstudios.org. Thank you for joining us today. Our featured guest is Daniel Stewart, a poet living in Boise, Idaho. The author of the collection The Imaginary World, he won the 2020 Erskine J Poetry Prize from Smartish Pace and is a Pushcart Prize nominee. His work can be found in BOAAT, Educe, a journal of queer writing, Graviton Lit, parentheses, Puerto Del Sol, Prairie Schooner, RATTLE, Scab, Skidrow Penthouse, Thrush Poetry Journal, Yes Poetry, and elsewhere. He's a teaching writer for The Cabin with residencies at Ada County Juvenile Detention and Frank Church High, an alternative school. His latest manuscript is Hotel 54, 54-word poems from which this selection comes.
Hi, my name is Danny Stewart, and these are my 54-word poems because I'm 54 years old. And this first poem is called For You. Imagine I'm a child in a boat on a lake. I can see you on the shore. Even from here, your eyes are mountains. Or I'm the shore and you're the water, taking bits of me with you when you recede. Or I'm the boat. I'm empty. Fill me. Take me across the water. '54. It's snowing, birthday morning. Why recognize it? I have lived a long time alone, wrote the poet. A lazy front, fat flakes puffed like animals in confrontation. As soon as they land, they disappear. I'm trying to find a way through these thoughts. Thoughts are chemical messages, interior flurries, agitating the atmosphere, then vanishing. Fat. I've struggled with it since childhood. At 40, I lost it after love broke my life. Things end so easily. Then depression reinflated me. Then something I ate made me sick, and again it disappeared. I'm still disappearing. It's not hard to vanish. Like a cloud, I'm barely there, and by the wind effaced. Super blue. Realizing the conspiracy is there is no conspiracy blisters the mind. I look for the moon filling the cracks in the empty trees. Be doubt-free, it's real light. So many lost in the cold, creeping night. I want to remain weaponless. I want to continue dwelling on various aspects of the night sky. Visitation. Not you glowing gold in November's gray, peering over the fence into the neighbor's yard. I looked hard twice to make sure, couldn't imagine what collapse could strand you back down here among us mortals. You never liked my hands, which wielded a language confounding to your understanding of the world, akin to tenderness. Fog. Perception is clouded by desire. This morning fog fills the valley. Each day the missing send regards through birdsong, but today are hushed with this haze. how to find you. We're surrounded, swaddled by the void. This is our world, stifled with static. Hard to see how far away you are from me. You as an idea. You're God, if by God you mean the being I want to please more than any other. You wanted me to think about you, and so I do. Can you understand being lost is a privilege? Loneliness is a luxury, imagining how many years you have left to be alone, as if you know. Twin Falls, 1988. What did we know? Drunk, at the falls, after midnight, in the caves. We weren't lost. It was play. Later, we ate pancakes and eggs at the depot grill, almost got in a fight with a drunk dude calling us faggots. So young and so far from death, we could imagine it didn't exist. Variations on real time. Time isn't a diamond. It's a lost dog, a dead cat. It's me all those years without you. It's dunes eroding in drought. It's a child in a cage crying for her mother. It's my mother's lullaby, her voice lost to the grave. It's us in this reality and what we pretend to be. Mood. I'm feeling emotional today. I'm a Christmas present, a birthday card, a Valentine, unreturned. And yes, that's my signature on the contract with solitude, which is a spirit, not a country, not this room. Solitude doesn't like my mood. Emotional people make things awkward. Solitude likes it quiet, and my wailing is too loud. Not one of your best days. It's clear, yet the air quality index is orange this morning, nearly unhealthy. Clear, yet a haze dazes the air. You struggle to care. You're awake, that's reason enough, isn't it, to shake off creak and ache to feed the cat, whose face allows you to remember how the need of another leads inevitably to grief. Atmosphere. On certain days you spend hours sitting in silence. The cat finds a rectangle of light to warm herself, or stares out the window where in the bland lilac sparrows squabble before flying, escaping into a different atmosphere. This silence isn't soft. It's hard, like the heel of a hand, like a slap. Solution. In periods of silence, your voice startles, speaking to no one the way people living alone speak aloud. You feel nothing. You feel soft, invisible, dust under shadow, but your voice frays into vibrato is too loud. Your thoughts are pebbles you finger before stirring them into your mind's corrosive liquids where they dissolve. Haunting. You're not afraid of the dark. More often it comforts. You zombie through days after sleepless nights. In the dark, you know the noises your house makes, but occasionally an unknown crash shocks breath before you realize it's the cat. Ghosts don't scare you. Like God, they only terrorize those who believe in them. Absence informs the source. It feels important to know the origin down to the DNA, but why? And God said, hush, children should be seen and not heard unless it's in praise of me. Questioning's an itch that won't be scratched. Each question an ode. Do you hear me? This is how I praise you. Gravity. Something falling in the next room jolts my pulse. I'm alone. My breath catches like when you entered the room. Your steps cadenced, it seemed, with my heartbeat. It was a book brought down by gravity, not ghosts. It startled as ideas do sometimes, like realizing you will never walk through the door again. Existential. I'm not afraid of being ghosted. Memories are ghosts. The past drifts in and out, sea and tide. I'm powerless against its suck and roll. Your absence is message enough. I don't need you to explain your feelings or lack. I can feel the lack. Wave after wave, sting of salt, scrape of sand. Rhetorical. The first utterance on entry into the world is a question. Learning to speak is learning to ask. How else to combat fear, to be satiated? This leads me to question silence. When we walk together and I take your hand, I'm asking a question. I don't expect an answer. You're not even there. Truth. Are you there? I'm not apologizing or asking forgiveness. It's a lie no two snowflakes are alike. Snow follows a template. We may not discuss need or even admit to it. Submit to it. Silence is only achievable through lack of consciousness. Absence is another perspective. Not calling you out, I'm questioning the lie. Fog. Perception is clouded by desire. This morning fog fills the valley. Each day the missing send regards through birdsong, but today are hushed with this haze. How to find you? We're surrounded, swaddled by the void. This is our world, stifled with static. Hard to see how far away you are from me. History. I'm made of cages, atoms, cells, organs, bones, skin, designed to keep me contained. Feeling is a cage, also lack of feeling. And you, with your myriad names, your promises, doors leading to the same rooms, windows revealing landscapes chameleoning into other scenes. With my cages changing, how can I know where I am trapped? Awakening. Last night, the great conjunction, Jupiter and Saturn kissing close. You need to step out of yourself. You gaze up, connecting dots. Cold enough each breath erupts. You want ascension. You want to feel this cosmic moment, to know beauty up close. But all you see are two bright dots in a dark sky. Some advice. You're going to sit calmly in your sorrow. Gasoline puddle with its rainbow ghost. Speaking of, no one wants to discuss cruelty because such a discussion is a cracked mirror. When you surrender to another, every stupid word they utter becomes poetry. You just can't tell how bad the poem is until they're gone. Cosmology. Are stars nowhere until we map them somewhere? We call the great dark gaps between structures space. So much of everything is dense with a nothing we can't yet explain. We find most things out there through math. The tiny lights we see were once immense. As ever, distance determines the relationship between structures. Rapture. The hardest part is accepting the invisible as God. Faith's a knot in the neck you can feel, but somehow is too deep to reach, to need. It only feels like the world's ending, but that's just spin. Gravity still grips you by the roots until the invisible calls us to flight. Keep singing. I am not owed an audience. Light shines through me. I'm made of wind. My shadow gets lost in shadows. All I hear is screaming. Everyone's angry. I'm authentic as an ant. Spill sugar and I scurry. Like a fly I annoy you. Still I should have a place among the relics. My bones are real after all. They break. Hookup. I'm nobody. Remember me? I touched you yesterday. My hands were blue, but my lips were whiskey warm. You smelled like earth, sweat, heat in August, rain. You filled the room like music. The bed was a lake between us. I gathered the flowers of my molecules, but couldn't weave them into a crown. Evidentiary. Some posit time isn't real. Feels like spring, hail, snow, wind, sun. Mom tells me she saw a baby robin in the tree she watches from her apartment window. Does it matter if time isn't real? She can see it passing, the bird falling, climbing, changing, learning to fly away. She wonders to where. Diction. A teacher told me I use disappear too often in poems. Also misaligned. Or better, crooked. Think meat and I. Not to mention breath, beat, wreck, rack. Or forget star, wraith, stain, writhe. Rooks are never symbols of a contrition. I absent words but cannot absent myself. And heart, I surrendered that one long ago. Dedicated. I talk a lot but no one listens. No one's in the audience sleeping. Speaking's entitled, not being heard. Same as yesterday. Tomorrow? No one knows. I love you, no one. I long for your text. You never sing along when I sing to you. No one. Every poem I write is for you. Date night. Some say you are who you surround yourself with. I surround myself with no one. My cats know no one well. No one brings a covered dish when someone dies, and someone's always dying. On Valentine's Day, no one brought me flowers. Stargazers are my favorites. And later, after a few drinks, we danced. Cast. I'm writing a work titled Death. We're characters. You're the protagonist. I'm disguised as a bird disappeared. You're sky. I hate rhyme, but that's the scheme. You're a sonnet. You're heroic couplets. I'm humble as an arrow. You're lovely as the target. I'm the boy who lost his breath. You're the boy running away. Accounting. I count the blessings of my wrongs, mistakes, failures, crimes. I remember fondly bridges burned, windows broken, drunken ramblings, off-tune singing, fumbled gropings, and innumerable rejections. My life a knot of gnats in late July gloaming. After grieving my ghosts, I've come to understand I'm a ghost too. I disappeared and I'm haunting you. Ego. It's hard not to get attached. It's hard to turn the mind in a different direction. Why do I feel like I'm pretending? No one's watching. No one's listening in. My dimming eyes can still perceive sunlight, skin still sensitive to ray and wind. No need to share, just be silently in the sun. Fear. It's fundamental as gravity. You wear it like a costume. You think people can't see you inside the makeup, the funny hair. The funhouse mirrors distort your image. This room has a door. You can open it and exit into sunshine. You thought the prosthetic nose was camouflage, but in daylight, it's laughable. My Thanos. Woe to the one who loves you. The world your bauble, a gem in your ring. Crow, your bleak eyes blink for shiny things, and for a moment I shined. You swooped in, shrieking shadow, I swooned. You want the body cosmic, but only the pulsing, breathing parts. And after your snap, I vanished.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in to the next episode of My on Mondays with writer and musician Daniel Bagley.